What's up, everyone, and welcome to Fiction Tea Review. There will be spoilers. If you do not want to watch the spoilers, I suggest you leave right now. I warned you. So I recently just went to go see The Invisible Man. I also have been reading The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells, the old school book, which has nothing to do and is not related at all to the film, but I thought it would be important to watch it. So, The Invisible Man is a horror thriller. It's about a woman played by Elizabeth Moss who is actually running away from her husband, trying to get away from him. He is abusive physically and emotionally, and mentally as well, and she ends up escaping and she ends up living with this guy. She begins to be haunted by her husband, and she's thinking, am I being haunted by him, or is he really here? And she learns that he's actually invisible and he's tormenting her. Let's talk about the visuals of The Invisible Man. The visuals of The Invisible Man were just superb. The visuals of The Invisible Man were great. They were perfect. I mean, I loved the way he looked. It was like a silhouette, but like a clear silhouette of the Invisible Man. And there were so many scenes where you knew he wasn't there. I mean, you knew he wasn't there because it's a movie, but you also knew he was there because of the movie. And it was like you felt like you could see him even though he was invisible. That's what it felt like in those scenes. You felt what she felt, and you felt like this dude's here, he's breathing on her neck, and he's walking around this room. And the intensity that it gave me as an audience member, I could feel myself clenched up in my chair, in my seat, just like, I don't know what's about to happen next, but it's about to be crazy. So there's a scene where Elizabeth's character is being like just lifted up in the air, and she's being choked. And the way that they did that, it's like, first of all, we have a villain that can't be seen. When you can create a villain who cannot be seen and still make it so impactful that it's not stupid or boring in the film, it's genius. He acted so well, it was so believable. You have to think about, she was in a room, probably with green screens or whatever was going on in the room, but she was in that room and there clearly wasn't a real person there, and she was acting her ass off. She was acting like she was being suffocated and choked, and I believed every moment of it. I believed that there was an invisible man choking her because her acting skills were so on point. I mean, she killed it. I love how they took that concept from the book and just created a whole new thing that is just, this might be one of the best horror thriller movies that's been out for a while, honestly. I mean, the disappointment that's been going on with horror films have been really high, so it's good to actually watch something that's actually good and it's not BS. It's not like, okay, this is not even scary, what the or a remake that's just like, why did they remake this? No, this is actually a good film. The story plot was great because from the beginning to the end, it's just intensified. There's action going on. You're really engaged in this and you want to know what's going on. You want to know what's going to happen next. Angles of the camera, how they made you believe that there was a person actually following her, actually killing people. The angle game that they had was just like, whoever was doing the directing, the angles, that's somebody I want to study, and that's definitely somebody I want to study. And this film, I definitely have to do more research on it and look up the people who directed, produced it, the actors, everything, because I just loved it from beginning to end. I even love the other characters, the character played by Liz Hodge and Storm Reed. Their characters were great. Even Elizabeth's sister were great. All the characters were good. I mean, first let's talk about how that skin though. I mean, that bod. His body was just like, dang, glistening. Like, his skin was popping, his muscles were popping. He just looked dang beautiful, and it was great to see that in the film, honestly. Like, he's gorgeous. Yeah, his daughter did a great job, and like I said, the sister did a great job. I love that scene where the sisters were in the restaurant, and that part where her neck got slit. And the part where she found out, when everybody found out, like, oh my gosh, she thought that she wasn't gonna get pregnant, but he knew the whole time. You're like, this guy is crazy. And in the end scene, the ending though, that ending though, was like so sweet and satisfactory. When you watch it, you're like, yes, you want her to get what you want her to get her revenge, and you want the guy to get what he deserves. And when you find out what happens, you're like, whew, this was good. Like, you really, at the end of the movie, you're just like, this is good. Like, that's it. Yeah, so I definitely would encourage people to watch this film. I would assume everybody who's watching this video has seen the film, because I did spoil stuff, and I did say that I was going to spoil stuff. But if you haven't seen it, you should definitely go check it out. I suggest you go see it with other people. This is something you probably go see more than once. Yeah, it's a great film. Before you go, make sure you get a copy of Rain by your Shirley T. Outlaw. It is a psychological thriller. Similar to this thriller with some horror in it, just like The Invisible Man. It is about a group of young adults in a psych ward who have been living there for so long they have become accustomed to living there. One of them is schizophrenic, the other is suicidal, the other one is trans, the other one has been abused sexually and mentally by her father. There's somebody with PTSD. There's every type of character in this book. There is a suicidal maniac. There's a murderer, and then there's this counselor who is just trying to figure out what his identity is, and just going about through navigating through this and trying to figure out, okay, how can I help these kids? Because there's more to this story than them just being crazy. There's something wrong with this building, because now it's having an effect on me. I'm seeing ghosts, I'm being haunted, traumatic things are happening to me, I'm being sexually harassed, I'm being harassed in general. And I think that these kids have some sort of magical powers. So there's definitely some sci-fi. Why did I say it like that? There's definitely some sci-fi in this as well. And if you're interested in reading this, you can hit the link in the description box below. I will be creating a website soon for this. And right now you can check on Amazon. There is more information on Amazon. You'll be able to read some of the inside of this. If you would like to stay and hear more of the read aloud, I'm going to get into it right now. So when we last stopped, we were talking about Joseph, and Joseph is a kid with schizophrenia. He is a black kid. The only reason that I mentioned race is because most of my characters are black. Most of my characters are black. Most of my characters are black, or they're a person of color. I really want to create more lanes for those type of characters. I do have a mixture of characters in this story. There's every type of character in this story, literally every type of person in this story. Specifically this one, but a lot of my stories that will be coming up, short stories and more novels, will be based around people of color and black people, and that's just the stories that I want to tell for people like me and people who are not like me, but people who experience the same things that I experience, and just people whose stories have not been told. So let me just get into this now. So we were talking about Joseph. Joseph is a schizophrenic kid. He I don't want to give all the backstory, but basically Joseph he has schizophrenia. He was put into this place after his mother died from cancer, but she didn't actually die from cancer. Something else happened. I can't reveal that yet. And yeah, he's been in there since he was a young kid, and his father put him in there after all of the physical and mental abuse, and now they get this new counselor, and Joseph is giving us a rundown of the new counselor and his thoughts and his feelings on them. So let's continue reading. Schoolgirl, encouraging me to smile. And for the moment, we're happy, yet in the distant corner, he watches like a crow. He's actually talking about his father. This is the continuation into... this is just the continuation of what I read in the video. The Mortel series review, the Netflix French series review, you can actually go watch that video. And at the end, I read some of this. So if you want to go back and see what I was talking about, you can. But I did basically just give you information on what's going on so you can get caught up. So his eyes are black, hollow, and empty. I suppose he's checking up on us. Silently glaring like a jealous teenage girl. He hates me. He wishes he could touch her like this, hold her so tight, and that she'd love him. Only him. I'm sorry for the noise in the background. I cannot control that. His eyes are wicked and full of fury flames forming in the dragon shape he calls a body, fading from black to reddish orange, to volcanic eruption, to fire, and poof, flame. Joseph is now having a flashback. That's what's taking place right now. The music fades, escaping my eardrums to reconnect with the wind. Excited, the newbie scans us with his beetle eyes like some newfound student doctor We can't wait to save lives and cure cancer. So now he's transitioned out of the flashback. Understand when you're reading from Joseph's perspective, it's not a reliable narrator just off the bat because he has schizophrenia. So when you read his part, it's not like reading the mind of a regular person. So it may seem like it's all over the place. It goes in and out of flashbacks, but that's just a heads up. Anybody know that musician? His hands clasped together like magnets. Look at him grinning like a proud mother who just watched her baby walk for the first time. It's almost cute. Anyone at all? His tone is optimistic. It's a he. A voice corrects him. Who's the voice? What was that? The newbie looks around to see who spoke up. The correct term is who he was. Past tense. He's dead, says Neil. Oh, bah. Sorry. He laughs nervously. Heh. I just wanted to say he because I was trying to get you to guess, but since you already know the gender, even though that's not actually true, I mean, you can never really know anyone's gender unless you, ask them, right? Perspiration escapes his cap and slides from the base of it to the corner of his mouth. He either has a gland problem or is very, very nervous. I think I'll go with the second one. Sorry, I'm off topic. His voice cracks, so he swallows spit. Unwillingly, I take the initiative of saving him from further embarrassment. My hand is raised. Mozart. Ah, yes. Yes, it is Mozart. He reassures me in a strange foreign accent. Mozart. And does anyone know who he was? My eyes don't meet with his, but my mouth ejects. He was a musical composer, specifically classical, and it's said that his music affects the mind and body in a positive vibrational way like no other. He smiles. Yes, that's right. Joseph, a seductive female voice responds. The newbie turns to focus on her, yet he watches me from his peripheral, as if he's waiting for something. Finally, he clears his throat and adjusts his glasses. And you are? He pulls out a clipboard from his purse and chews on a pen. Tracy, the pen points. Please introduce yourself, he encourages. She stands vainly, grinning at the newbie, bashing her long, full, thick eyelashes at him. Tracy, a fully developed, tall young woman, wearing a pink cropped shirt, tightly fitted blue jeans that hugs her perfectly sleek figure, all maintaining her perky cheeks. Hi, my name's Tracy. She gives a quick hair flip and folds her hands, smiling. Tracy has her ways with me.